It's me, Pete, again. I'm here to talk about another week of Niner football. Niners play the Bengals tomorrow. The Niners are 6-6, while the Bengals are 7-5. Um, it's a must-win for the 49ers, in my opinion. They cannot lose two in a row. It's going to be really interesting to see how they plan on rebounding. They're going to be playing without Elijah Mitchell, and they're probably not going to have Debo Samuel. They're also without Maurice Hurst in the middle. They're also not going to have Dante Johnson, which normally wouldn't be a big thing, but because of our cornerback depth issues, the injury issues, uh, with uh, with Emmanuel Mosley going down last week, it's going to be really hard for them to kind of rebound and really put a viable secondary together. So, with that being said, talk about the Bengals a little bit. So Joe Burrow is probably going to be playing with a hurt finger, and I believe he has a knee issue. Uh, they're also missing two starters at linebacker. It's Which could really affect them, like when it comes down to stopping our running game. The strengths of the Bengals are, I mean, you got Joe Burrow, you got Joe Mixon. Their wide receivers are just burners. They have guys that can go deep on you at in a minute's notice. So it's uh, it's going to be really interesting how our secondary is going to react, and how they're going to keep them from making explosive plays. But they also, I mean, the weaknesses of this team, they can't. Their O line is not good. That's the easiest way to put it. Their O line is just not good. They're not consistent. They can protect Burrow from time to time, but for the most part, they're not consistent. So they're also their defense is, like I was talking about earlier. They're weak in the secondary. They have they take chances a lot. So when you're taking chances like they do on a regular basis, they leave it open for big plays to happen, and it happens quite a bit against them. They also, because of that, they miss tackles because they gamble a lot. They're also kind of wishy-washy against the run. I noticed that. So which normally would be a huge advantage for the 49ers, but this week, without Elijah Mitchell and without Debo, it's going to be it may not be as big of an issue for them. Um, our offense, the 49ers offense. So this week, what does the run game look like without Elijah Mitchell? That's the first question I want to ask: is what does it look like without Elijah Mitchell? We got Hasty and Wilson. They're probably going to be leading the backfield, but they also got a guy named Brian Hill. He used to play for Atlanta. He's played for. He also, I believe, he played for the Bengals also. So they got Brian Hill, but I doubt we'll be seeing much of Brian Hill. I think that it's going to be mostly Hasty and Wilson, because I mean that we just got the guy off the street like what, a day ago, 2 days ago. So I doubt we see any of Brian Hill. Uh, there's probably it like I was talking about earlier. There's probably going to be another game without Debo, which means we don't have the eye candy that Debo brings us. We don't. He's not able to be a decoy for us on offense, which is just a huge disadvantage, as we saw last week. It's just a huge disadvantage not to have him involved in this offense. He is this offense. It's not a secret anymore after last week. I think I said in the last video, he had to be a part. He's he's so involved in everything that they do to this point that I don't know if this offense can really run without him. I think he's the one player that they cannot do without. So I'm really kind of interested to see for a second week if Kyle is able to script up to scheme up a viable offensive game plan, because it was just last week it was really bad. It was just really bad in a whole bunch of different ways. Uh, but without the eye candy, I see the running game probably struggling a lot. Like, and because he doesn't do anything with Ayuk, like as far as like using him for eye candy or whatever the case is, you got to have those decoys like when you don't have all your weapons, and I just don't see it. I don't see it. But Jimmy's probably going to have to throw the ball like 30 plus times again this week. Recipe for disaster. We saw it last week. We're probably going to see it this week. I hope we don't see bad Jimmy, but the reality is that if he has to throw that many times, you're probably going to see bad Jimmy at least once or twice. So, can the 49ers overcome bad Jimmy? Can they? I mean, I guess anything's possible, but but will they? And um, can Jimmy take advantage of this bad Bengals secondary that likes to take chances and just assumes that he's going to throw to a certain spot? This is this is a perfect opportunity for Jimmy to take that aggressive nature that those secondary guys have for the Bengals and turn it against them and just throw the ball. Just throw the ball out there. They're going to give up some big plays if you'll just have the balls to throw it. Like, period. Um, does Jimmy continue to force feed the ball to Kittle? Is another question. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. They need to keep Kittle's targets down. I love seeing Kittle go off, and it's great to watch him as a huge part of the offense, but they have other weapons. They can get other guys involved. They can get Ayuk involved. Sherfield blocking his behind off, but that guy can catch balls. He can catch balls too. He's shown he can catch balls. Sherfield has shown that he can catch balls. We probably don't want Sherfield blocking too much more because he showed last week that he is not that type of guy. He can give it to you in a pinch, but you don't want him blocking on a regular basis. So can they get the ball to other guys? You got Juice out there too, and which Jimmy just missed him wide open. It was a layup throw down the side on a wheel route. It's all right there. Can Jimmy make the reads, make the throws is the question, and we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be there because Kyle schemes it every week. And shout out to John Chapman and Rich Madrid and Jack Hammer and Grant Cohn for putting that tape out there, showing how open our receivers were on a regular basis. KP, him too, like showing how open our receivers are getting on a regular basis, and Jimmy just can't see it. Either he can't see it or he's so afraid to throw the ball that he just won't. So we don't know what it is, but we know that these guys are open. We know that if we had, I don't want to say if we had a different core, if Jimmy would just make the throws. If Jimmy would just make the throws, because I don't know how there's certain guys out there that can just keep defending this guy, but he somehow has this this following that these guys just support him no matter what, no matter how bad the mistakes are, they're gonna support him. So I I feel for you. I feel for you guys. It's got to be painful. It's got to be painful just defending that guy on a weekly basis. But I digress. It is what it is. Let's see what Jimmy gives us this week. I hope. I'm just hoping that we're just that we can move, that we can score at least 30 this game, because I think that the opportunities will be there. It's, can we take advantage of them? Um, the but the I say all that to say Ayuk needs more touches. The guy, I don't care how you have to do it, Kyle. I don't care how you have to do it. Scheme it up. You put Debo on sweeps. I don't know why you can't run sweeps. I don't understand why you can't figure out a way to get this guy the ball. He is the most explosive player you have on the team. And yes, I love Kittle to death, but Ayuk is the most explosive player you have on the team, not Kittle. You want Ayuk with the ball in his hands, because that kid is electric when he has the ball in his hands. So get it done, Kyle. We're tired of seeing uh, Kittle just have to run over 5 and 6 guys to get touchdowns when you've got a guy that can just run by everybody. Um, as far as the 49er defense goes, this should be the game for the D line to really show out. Like they need to shine against this bad Bengals O line. Like I mean, it's bad. Like and I fully expect this D line to show out. You got both. Bosa's got 12 sacks. Uh, DJ Jones was a monster last week. Amenahu looked. I mean, barring the mental mistake that he made going after Russell Wilson, I thought he looked solid rewatching the game. I thought that Arden Key looked good when I rewatched the game. It's there. Like I think the D line like is doing its job. I think that the secondary, if the secondary can hold up their end of the bargain and we can cut the mental mistakes down, the D line could be really a force. So of course they're not 2019. We shouldn't be comparing any D line to 2019. That was a special year. But I feel like this D line is really good. I feel like they're really good, and they need some more respect put on their name. This week, Warner's returning. Fred Warner. Aziz Al-Shair was playing last week with his hair on fire. It's gonna be really. I really want to see a juiced up Fred Warner out to prove that he is the best linebacker on this team. Because right now Aziz is is showing out, and you got to keep up, Fred. I want to see it. I know everybody out there wants to see it. Like I would love for Fred Warner to just come out and just ball out, and this will be a perfect opportunity because if Burrow is fingers hurt, they may try and lean on the running game, and this would be a perfect opportunity for Fred Warner to show, and Aziz to both show that they are elite. I think they're both elite, and it's going to be. So this could be a get back game for Fred Warner, a chance for him to cement his spot in the league and remind everybody who he is and why he was All Pro Fred last year. So I'm excited to see Warner back. The rookie cornerbacks, and we might see a lot of Ambry Thomas tomorrow. We may see a lot of Ambry Thomas tomorrow. With Dante Johnson going down and Lenore getting burnt like he did last week, I expect to see Lenore out there. But Ambry Thomas, we might see a lot of Ambry Thomas, and which may not be a good thing. Who knows? I heard a lot of stories about he was doing better in practice. We'll see. If we don't see him on the field tomorrow, then that'll tell you right away if those reports were accurate or not. So I want to see Ambry Thomas because I want to see what the youngsters got. Like I want to see if he's learning anything throughout this season. And Lenore, I think Lenore saw that. I think he had a bad game because he wasn't expecting to be on the field. That's what it looked like to me. So what does K1 give us? Because I think he can be a liability if they're able to stretch him deep. K1 Williams is one of the best slot corners in the league, but that's because he gives valuable run support and if they can and he's good at the short stuff, but he can be taken advantage of deep. So and that's what this offense and the Bengals kind of excel at. So I'm going to be very interested in seeing how K1 does in this game or if he's even a factor. And then of course there's Josh Norman, who we all know he just stinks. I'm sorry, Croc, you my boy, but if everybody knows Eric Crocker, he makes excuses for our DBs all the time, and I'm sorry, Josh Norman is just he's terrible. He's just terrible. I don't have another word for him. He's just terrible. If he's not, does he get forced fumbles? Okay. Yeah, he gets a forced fumble. But that's only because the guy caught the ball. He can't keep guys from catching the ball. That's the problem. That's the problem is he can't keep guys from catching the ball. And then if he somehow keeps them from catching the ball, it was probably because it was pass interference. But one way or another, quarterbacks have learned that they can just throw deep on Josh Norman. And one of the two things is going to happen: either they're going to catch it off of a blown coverage, or it's going to be PI. So hopefully, we can find a way to limit that, and the D line can get some pressure and keep him out of trouble. But if the D line doesn't dominate and Burrow has time, the 49ers secondary is going to get torched. The two guys I haven't talked about yet, Ward and Tart, can they mitigate some of that and keep them from getting burnt deep? Yeah, but then that leaves those intermediate areas ripe for the picking, and that's kind of where I see the 49ers getting beat. It's so I think that this game it's potential. There's potential for it to go a couple of different ways, but I'm really afraid for the secondary without Dante Johnson and without Emmanuel. Losing Emmanuel Mosley was just huge. So the final score that I have for this game, I got the final score at 49ers 24, Bengals 21. I'm still picking Niners. I'm still repping Niners all day. And I'm still gonna pick them at 24-21. Predicting a close win, but I'm not confident in the least. Jimmy offensively is the key in this one to me, because he's gonna have to throw the ball 30 plus times. I'm confident that he's gonna have to throw the ball 30 plus times. Can he do that without staring down Kittle and which causes interceptions? Can he do it? I'm not gonna go through that again. It is what it is. Can he do it? That's the question. Can the D line dominate on defense and keep Burrow from having time in the pocket to just throw the ball deep? Those are the keys on both sides of the ball. I really appreciate you guys listening to me. Please hit that subscribe. Please hit the like button. I appreciate all the feedback you guys give me. It's been great this last month and a half, and I really appreciate all the feedback that I've been given. Like I said, shout out to all the big name podcasters out there: Aponte, Rich Madrid, Vish is my dude, and Jamal and Jasper. That show, I watched your guys' show the other day. That was great. That was good stuff. So really pay attention to everybody out there. Everybody's got something to say, got something to hear for you Niner fans. Check it out. But please hit that subscribe and like button. And I'll be back after the game. I'm going to try and get back right after the game, so that way I can give you some fresh takes to stew over for the rest of the week. But thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. And go Niners.